Disney's downfall, Snow White's disaster, record-breaking hate, and CEO Bob Iger on the edge. Disney was already in trouble. But now they're heading straight for a cliff. With just a month left until the release of Snow White, it's already shaping up to be the most hated movie in history. First, fans were furious about the story changes. Then, leaked set photos made things even worse. But when the first trailer dropped, it was an absolute disaster. The backlash was unreal. And now, after the latest trailer, Disney has officially hit over 1 million dislikes. And this is happening at a time when their new Captain America movie is tanking, Disney Plus is losing subscribers, and their Reimagine Tomorrow initiative just got axed due to massive backlash. Oh, and let's not forget, the US government has pulled financial support for their DEI messaging. But Snow White? That's a whole different beast. Over 9 million people have watched the latest trailer, and the dislike ratio is absolutely brutal. Even compared to Lucasfilm's disaster The Acolyte, this is next-level rejection. And the comments? They're absolutely destroying Disney. Thousands upon thousands of brutal burns, so much so that some creative geniuses have even turned them into songs. And honestly, the only good thing coming from this movie is the shared hatred bringing people together. So, is this the final nail in the coffin for Disney's cultural agenda and CEO Bob Iger's career? Right now, it sure looks like it. But Disney? They're still pretending everything's fine. Disney's worst disaster yet? Snow White's CGI nightmare and a $300 million failure. Disney still doesn't get it. They've completely lost the magic they once had. There was a time when people fought to be the first to see a new Disney project. Now, their own fans are turning against them. Directors calling fans toxic, audiences mocked for criticizing bad CGI live-action remakes that nobody asked for. All of this has created a perfect storm of hatred. And the worst part? That hate is turning into indifference. Nobody cares anymore. Just look at the views on Snow White's latest trailer. For a movie this big, the numbers are terrible. That tells us everything. People who saw it didn't care, and those who did actively hated it. The dislike ratio is insane. And get this, a parody song made from the trailer's hate comments is racking up almost half as many views as the trailer itself. Disney just did the impossible. They united the internet against them, and after burning through $300 million in production and marketing, this might be Disney's worst-case scenario. Even the hardcore Disney defenders have given up. Casual fans, they've checked out completely. At this point, it doesn't matter who you are. You probably won't like this film. The CGI nightmares now. White is another live-action remake, but for some reason, Disney thought it was a great idea to CGI the dwarves. Let's break it down. First, they replaced them with magical creatures. Fans hated it. Then they flip-flopped and brought dwarves back. More backlash. Now, we've got CGI abominations that look like they belong in a cheap 2014 movie. They're stuck in this uncanny valley nightmare. Not quite human, not quite animated, just disturbing. Can you imagine any parent wanting their kids near these creepy-looking things? And it's not just the CGI. The entire movie looks visually repulsive. Take a look at CGI from 20 years ago, like Pirates of the Caribbean. It's insane how Disney's effects have actually gotten worse. Behind-the-scenes chaos, the rewrites, the reshoots, the panic. Disney knows this movie is in trouble. Test screenings have been a disaster. Rumors are flying about major last-minute changes, which means they're just scrambling to patch this sinking ship. At this point, $300 million is about to go straight down the drain. And Disney, they're still pretending everything's fine. And now, a game that's actually worth your time. Tired of bad CGI and soulless remakes? How about realistic, adrenaline-pumping action? War Thunder is the ultimate multiplayer vehicle combat game. With over 2,500 real-world tanks, planes, helicopters, and warships, you'll feel like you're actually on the battlefield. Realistic physics, X-ray damage system, multiple game modes for every skill level. And the best part? You don't need any extra hardware. Just grab your PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or even your phone and jump into the fight. New players and returning veterans who haven't played in 6 months get an exclusive bonus pack, premium vehicles, special decorations, and 100s and silver lions. But hurry, this offer is for a limited time only. Click the link in the pinned comment or video description and play War Thunder for free today. The US government cut off Disney? Snow White's disaster explained. If you thought Disney's Snow White was a disaster before, buckle up, because a shocking new revelation may finally explain why this film is such a train wreck. The US government may have been fueling Disney's downfall. For years, media giants like Disney have aggressively pushed diversity, equity, and inclusion. DEI initiatives. And while there's no direct proof that Disney received government-backed funding, recent reports suggest that the USA has previously used media funding to promote certain ideologies. And now, that support has vanished. Suddenly, Disney is reconsidering everything, flop after flop, backlash after backlash. And with Snow White being one of their last major films produced under this strategy, it's shaping up to be the ultimate lesson in failure. The ultimate Disney disaster isn't just another bad movie. This is a perfect storm of everything people hate about modern Disney. Needless identity politics, hypocrisy, awful CGI, horrible casting decisions, a bloated, pointless production. And the worst part? This was the one movie Disney should have never touched. They perfected Snow White back in 1937. It's literally the foundation of the Disney empire. So why remake it? Why gut everything people loved and replace it with soulless, modernized visuals and lifeless CGI? A movie that feels off. Disney tried to keep some classic elements, like Snow White's iconic dress, but they clash with the bland, modern aesthetic. The dwarves' home should feel warm and inviting, but instead, it looks both cramped and oversized at the same time. And the CGI animals, they have zero life compared to their 1937 counterparts. Even Disney knew it looked bad. That's why they tried to fix it in editing, but no amount of editing could save this disaster. Disney has lost its audience. People aren't just mad at Disney anymore, they're tuning out completely. Just look at Skeleton Crew, Disney's latest Star Wars project. Never heard of it? You're not alone. Despite getting decent reviews, barely anyone watched it. Disney's problem? They abused audience trust too many times. Now, even when they release something halfway decent, nobody cares. And Snow White, it's only getting attention because people love to hate it. Take away the controversy, and nobody would even be talking about it. Disney's worst-case scenario, a $300 million train wreck, a film nobody wants, a studio desperately scrambling. This might be the final nail in the coffin for Disney's failing strategy. And Bob Iger, he's running out of excuses. And now, a game that's actually worth your time. Tired of terrible remakes and lifeless CGI? Ready for real action? War Thunder is the ultimate multiplayer vehicle combat game. 2,500 real-world tanks, planes, helicopters, and warships. Realistic physics and X-ray damage system. Massive online battles across land, air, and sea. No extra hardware needed. Just grab your PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or even your phone and jump into battle. New players and returning veterans who haven't played in 6 months get an exclusive bonus pack. Premium vehicles, special decorations, and 100,000 silver lions. But hurry! This offer won't last. Click the link in the pinned comment or video description and play War Thunder for free today. Disney just gave up? The DEI collapse and Snow White's final disaster. Disney has officially waved the white flag. But is it too late? For years, Disney pushed its Reimagine Tomorrow initiative, promoting itself as the most progressive studio in Hollywood. But after flop, audience backlash, and government funding being cut off,